Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome to Swayze's World. Could be your world. Prophecy. Are we now not technically living proof that prophecy was right? When Jesus and those who wrote these books on prophecy a couple thousand years ago, they kind of talked about everything that's going on right now. They're talking, yes, I know, war, right? Rumors of war. We're talking economic wars. Could be the downfall of society's economic, cataclysm. And we're probably going to see that, just because we're bouncing around here a little bit and we're lucky to be in the United States, we're still going to have main issues. We're going to have big issues. And we just are. We're going to have shortage of foods, different types of foods. Prices still going to go skyrocketing. I understand that, with the barter and trade and the tariffs and all this are supposed to bring all this stuff down. But, it's not going to bring everything down. And how long will it last? Nobody knows. And it's just, like I said, we've got countries on this earth that are in dire straits of food and water. They're having famine, right? They are. Checking it. We got to be ready. We got to be prepared. Like I said, we're watching prophecy unfold right before our eyes. It's all been talked about before, exactly what's going on now. The war in the Middle East, closing in on Israel. Yes, Israel bouncing back and forth, but they're closing in, and that's a really bad thing. The war in Europe, that's a really bad thing. Stuff like this has got people kind of getting to the point where they turn off their TV and they don't pay any attention anymore what's going on the news. But you got to follow the news, because the news will let you know about what's going on. We're living in the days of the end times. I take my word for it, and I'll just say, open up a window and look outside. May not be happening on your street, but it's probably happening on somebody else's street. You don't know. Bad guys are everywhere. Robberies are up. Carjackings are up. People getting mauled over, it's up. You got the left who picks, Scientology and devil worship and thinks that blowing up things is a good thing, and fighting and warfare. They believe that. Just don't take my word. Just watch. People on the right, we're not there yet. But how long is it going to be before both sides finally, especially the right, has enough? They go, that's it. That's enough. And then they collide. And then you got major problems because there's not enough law enforcement to keep everything, under control if it all goes downhill. There isn't. And even if they bring in the military, there's not enough military right now. There's not enough troops, because we got them committed everywhere, to actually come into your town and protect you. There isn't. So you're going to have to do it yourself. So that's why I always say have one of these and even have another one. And plenty of stuff to go with them. And be conscious of who your friends are, who knows what's going on, with you. You don't tell everybody you're stashing stuff, you're prepping. You don't never tell nobody that you don't know for sure. If you want to get new people in your group, you kind of ease them and fill them out, stuff like that, before you ever bring anything up as far as being a prepper. Because, hey, when the doo-doo hits that proverbial fan, they're going to sit back and think, well, this guy, he's got all kinds of stuff. So we'll get a mob together, we'll go there. Don't think that won't happen. It will. So protect yourselves. Make sure you're completely protected. But like I said, we're on the cusp. We're starting that rabbit hole of the end times. You can see it in the stars in the skies. Signs, they're everywhere. Jesus said, because they asked him, when will these times come? And he says, the signs. When you see the signs and know the signs, that's when it's coming. You got to be prepared. We don't know who's coming tomorrow. Jesus could come tomorrow. He said he'd come like a thief in the night. So we don't know when that's going to be. So we always have to be prepared. But in the meantime, down here on earth, we got to be prepared also, because there's just so much going on right now. the United States is a great place to be, and I wouldn't want to really be anywhere else that I could think of. But it's almost getting to be a war-torn country, especially if both sides, the right and left, get together, and they start clashing. And I see that coming. I foresee that coming by the end of the year, maybe next year. I don't know. There's no way I would know what's going to happen tomorrow. No way you would know. But you got to be prepared for this stuff because we see it in front of our eyes. Pick up a pamphlet of prophecy, just one of them pamphlets, and read it. Revelation. Read the doggone little pamphlets of prophecy, and then close it, set it down, turn on your television, and go, holy crap, the book was right, or the pamphlet was right. We are in those end times. Now, you don't have to believe in God. You should, but you don't have to know that we're in a world of deep kimchi on a planetary scale. We just are. So I'm just telling you, to refresh your memory, start rethinking about the end times and prophecy and what's actually going on, even what's going on behind the scenes. Be prepared, because tomorrow may not come, as far as we know it. We don't know, but it may not come. Or the whole world could go bananas, or they could start pushing buttons. We don't know. Nobody knows. Those that have these things on the other countries around the world that actually hate our guts, who knows when somebody crazy might just do something like that. So you got to be ready. All right. I'm just telling you to be ready. So that's all I got to say for today. Thank you very much for stopping by. I really mean it. It's nothing but love for you guys. I truly mean it. And take care of yourselves. All right. And we'll talk to you later.